Hello there. What are you expecting today? Because whatever you expect, that's exactly what you're going to receive. In the previous video, I began to share with you what it means to me. Everyone is me pushed out. My first mentor in life, I never had a mentor until I met him. Better yet, I should say, I never had a mentor until I desired to have one. He said, if you met God at the corner of nowhere with nothing, you would have shaken hands with everything and not even know it. Since I am God and you are God, everything that is out there is actually contained within you. Dr. Joe Dispenza says, we are not seeing with our physical eyes, we're seeing with our brain. Why the brain? Because in our brain, we have 300 new cells every single morning, and they're waiting for us to create new pictures, to take in new desires, to go into the subconscious mind or the heart, to pull out those desires and to think of them until they turn into pictures. So the reason you have 300 new cells every single morning, it's because your brain is part of your physical being. And we know very well that it goes from the spirit through the intellect and then into the physical. The spirit or energy is this power. And as we know that this power sustains everything, as we think, that's your intellect. That's the mind. And so that is where activity of thoughts happens. We have 300 new cells because as God, you want to create, right? You want to create your own life, your own reality. This is referring to what is it that you want to receive from out there into your personal experience, into your personal reality. What would you like? What car would you like? What kind of partner would you like? Because everything exists, anything under the sun. In my coaching and in my, while I was coached by Bob Proctor, I was also taught that everything already exists, right? Everything already exists. It's not existing in the possession of you. It's not under your name, right? The physical name, but under the spiritual name, because you are God. You own everything according to the spirit or the energy, but in the physical, you don't. And so what we want to experience or become the owner of something out there that in the spiritual sense we own, we have, but bring it into the physical. That is why we create. And we have been taught that we create twice. To create twice is to understand it's already been created, but now we become the owner of it. And that's what I teach in my program. You become the owner of anything you want. And you have to become the owner here, or have that being as if you have it. That's what it means. You become the owner of it here, and then automatically it has to happen out there. So when we talk about everyone is you pushed out, we are referring to whatever thoughts you attach to those cells, you become the owner of it. It has to come into your reality. Everything is you pushed out. And what is requiring of you is your attention. Bob Proctor said we're lacking two things: lack of imagination and attention of focus, or focus of attention. We don't know how to focus, and I've shared in the previous video how we focus. Neville says mind and speech equal immortality. What he's referring to is you can't speak of that which you don't see inwardly. And we're not talking about outwardly, we're talking about inwardly. Because life and death is in the tongue. So if you don't talk about it, you're not giving it life. If you talk about it, you're giving it life. But what is it we're talking about? The mouth speaks from the abundance of the heart. The heart is that kingdom. It's that inner you. It's this whole world, but it's inside of you. And so when we project something out there, we become the owner of it. We are responsible for it, good, bad, or indifferent. We can't point fingers if it's something bad, and we can't take all the credit if it's something good. We are responsible for the good and bad or indifferent, because we are God. So when everything is pushed out, it says Listen, if I shake my hand, if I shake your hand right now, I have no idea who you are. I don't know who you are. You're telling me your name is John and you own this business. You're married and you want to, and you maybe have 3 kids, or you're single. I'm only going by what I see on the outside, but what's inside of you, I don't know. But if I know me enough and how I operate, I know you. You see, I attracted you because I know what's inside of me. I talk about this in business relationships. You attract what you are. You don't have to struggle to receive clients because they are out there. There's other people like you. It's just that you are a step ahead. And now they're coming to you so you can lead them. You're the visionary. You show them the way. That's what business is all about. So we must understand that when everything is me pushed out, it's referring to what are you giving your thoughts to? What are you imagining and what are you saying? Because it will be pushed out. It will be projected, or you will become the owner of it. If it's a word you hear, a hug you receive, money in the bank, an SB coming back, a refrigerator, a new car, whatever it is, you created it, you projected it. So I had this experience last night and I want to share it with you because I have not arrived yet, okay? Meaning I still have desires in my heart. As long as I'm going to live, there's still desires in my heart that I want to bring out. And last night I wanted to know more specifically, well, how do I connect with me? And I heard this question, okay? My inner being speaks to me, not very often, but I wanted to speak with my inner being. And I said, okay, well, if everything is me pushed out, I said, but who is me, right? Who is me? And I heard this question, would you allow the inner Lumi to tell you what she wants from the outer Lumi? And I go, who's talking to me? I said, who asked the question? Will you allow the inner Lumi to tell the outer Lumi what she wants? And then I thought, oh, this must be the inner child. A lot of people talk about the inner child. And then I said, well, no, wait a minute. Who asked me the question? I said, is the awareness. Who is the inner Lumi and who's the outer Lumi? And then I said, oh, the inner Lumi is that Lumi that has all these desires. The inner Lumi, Luminita, people call me Lumi, the inner Lumi has all those desires. And I said, I started crying. I had tears. They were actually running without force, without struggle. They were just like literally like water, like over and over and over again. And I said, well, what do I need to do? And the voice said, well, you need to connect together to become one. And then I said, well, how do I become one? Listen to Lumi's inner voice. Listen to that Lumi. And I said, well, that's exactly what I want, because out here, it's a jungle. I don't know where to go and I don't know what to do, right? This outer Lumi has messed up and continues to mess up. Well, yes, you need to go to that inner Lumi and listen to her and talk to her. Don't talk with your bank account. Don't talk with your SB. Don't talk to anyone. You talk with the inner Lumi. Find out what she wants. Find out what she desires. Because she's been crying. She's been longing. She's been desperate. She's been wanting so many things. But ultimately, she wants them for you. She loves you more than you love her. And then, being given that I was raised in religion and moved away from it, I was reminded that he loved me first before I loved him. You see, this inner Lumi is that inner being that loves me more than I love it. And for me to go back home or to the kingdom or to the universe or the heart or the subconscious mind is making that connection back, right? We were kicked out of the Garden of Eden. Now, right, we also kicked God out, meaning you kicked your own desires. You kicked this inner Lumi out. And the outer Lumi says, I know how to do it. I know. I've learned how to go to the store. I get in the car and buy the milk and exchange the money for the milk. I know how to do it all. I know how to do it all. No one wants to be around someone that knows it all, right? But that's not the point. What I'm saying is the outer Lumi says, I know how to do everything. And that's where we go wrong. Because the inner Lumi, if she gives you that desire, if she gives me that desire, that means she already knows what it is, who's involved with it, who's creating it, how to get to it, and everything. It has the plans, the strategies, the tactics, and I teach that in business as well. Many times we're going after strategies and tactics of everything we find out there. We're running like a chicken without a head and we don't know what we're doing. So I think to myself, okay, well, I need to find a name for this inner Lumi. I need to find a name. And then I thought about Abraham Hicks and I said, well, Abraham and Esther, she has two names. And I said, I've got to have a name. Well, obviously I don't have a name for the inner Lumi, but as I was writing everything that was coming to me, downloaded to me, because I am European, I'm Romanian, I wrote Dear Lumi, and the other one I wrote Dear, but in my own language. And I said, okay, the Dear Lumi is referring to the inner Lumi, and the Dear Lumi in Romanian refers to the outer Lumi. So that's as far as I can come up with a name when it comes to the inner and outer Lumi. But Neville Goddard said this: when the inner being focuses on something that it wants, the outer being will rise under compulsion to satisfy the inner being's desire. Now, you will have to rise under compulsion, not to create something, but to go and collect the very thing that was already created for you. Because remember, everything is already created. And if it's not, it's happening right now. But you give it authority through what? Mind and speech. You give it life through the mind and speech. And if you want to learn what that means, go and watch the previous video. Mind and speech equals immortality. So everyone is you pushed out. Everything is you pushed out refers to all this activity you do in the mind, all this interaction that you have between the inner being with the outer being, or the inner Lumi with the outer Lumi. How do you, as the outer being, reports itself to the inner being? You have to have a love relationship. You have to have compassion and empathy. You have to have sincerity and honesty. What does that mean? Honor your desires, respect your desires, love your heart, because it loves you so much. It's desperate, it is seeking your attention, because you see, it cannot do anything without you. You are its body. This inner Lumi doesn't have a body. You are the body. And so you are its mouth, you are its hands, you are its feet, you are its eyes. You are the body of this inner being. And so if this inner being is not in a good relationship with this body, there's a division. And so what we do, we say, oh, I know I need a new car. I know I need new clients. I know I need this, but let me do it my way. We don't go very far with that. And I know that from personal experience. To condition ourselves to go back in. I still wake up every morning, and many times if I don't go to bed the correct way, I wake up and I say, I'm like, wait, I'm thinking negative, and I go, wait, I said, wait a second. I said, I am communicating with the outer world. The outer Lumi communicates with the outer world. The physical eyes, this physical body, these physical eyes are talking to me. And I said, wait a minute, I need to go back within. And then I ask myself, and I ask questions like, so where are we at right now? Where are we at right now? Let's look at what it is we have. And many times I may not see something because it has not been created yet. So I may look at my life, because that's what it means. When you look at the inner Lumi, or what you already have in, or what you own, you're saying, wait, I can't see much, or I'm not seeing that manifestation coming in, or I have not created something new. And see, this communion, this relationship has to be done between the outer Lumi and the inner Lumi on a constant basis. It has nothing to do with the outside. It has to do with asking the inner Lumi, are you happy? Are you happy now? Do you feel grateful now? And if you feel your heart, your stomach, your solar plexus just getting tense, it's probably not. You see, the body is the subconscious mind, is the inner Lumi, and it will tell you if it's happy or not. And if you feel tension, if you feel stressed, if you feel pain, the inner Lumi is not happy. And so that's when I begin to communicate, and I begin to ask, and I say, okay, well, what would you like right now? And then I think about, and I say, well, Christmas is around the corner. I have my children. I want to do this and I want to do that. And I go, is that what you would like? And my tears run again. My tears run again. And I realize, yeah, the deepest desire of my heart, that's what it is. I want to do this and this and this and this. And I connect again, and I connect again with my desire. But see, it's not enough to know, to be aware of what it is you want. You must create it and give it life. Mind and speech equal immortality. Watch my previous video. So it's always about connected with the inner being. It's going back home, going back to the Garden of Eden, going back to Canaan, going back to the universe, God, source, higher being, inner you. That's the only journey you have to make. And many times it's hard to do. Sometimes I would think, yeah, I know what I want. I know what I'm supposed to do. And I feel this resistance in the body, and I'm not doing it, right? The very thing I know I'm supposed to do, I don't do. But the thing I know not to do, that I do. Because it's this battle between the inner and the outer. The battle between Esau and Jacob. It's just this battle, always a battle. So I said last night, it came to me, and it my mind, my territory, my awareness was expanded. As long as there is a division between the inner and outer Lumi, as long as there is a division in the house, this house will not stand. If there's a division between my mind and my heart, there's going to be a division. This is what? Vertical. If there's a division in the vertical, there's going to be a division in the horizontal. The same distance here is the same distance out there between me and the thing that I want. The shorter I close this gap, the faster I close this gap, the faster the gap out there is going to close. Right now we're going from not knowing who we are, how we operate, what life is all about. We have fears, we have doubts, and these are all core paradigms. Between the mind and the heart, between the mind and the speech, there are paradigms. And so we need to let go of those. You cannot go on a journey and carry someone else's luggage. In the next video, I'm going to talk to you about relationships and how you can manifest an SP the easier way. But you cannot carry luggages, right? And try to get from here to there while you have all of these layers and layers and layers and layers, or luggages and mountains, whatever you want to name them, in the way. The faster and shorter you make this gap and you close it, the faster it's going to close out there. And in my program, I have 6 steps. How I show you how to close this gap, how to go within, and how to bring it out really quickly. Watch my previous video. Mind and speech equal immortality. It's just a powerful video. I share with you a manifestation story on how I manifested something that I spoke out loud into existence, and it came a few hours later. Okay, especially when you don't put anything in between. When your desire is pure, and you take everything out of the equation, it comes quickly and fast. Because when the outer Lumi with the inner Lumi communicate on the language of the desire, not the language of the circumstance, but the language of desire, that's when things become very quickly. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you. I just wanted to close the gap. If you miss a little bit of understanding when it comes to everyone is you pushed out, the distance between you and him, her, money, job, anything, is the same distance between here and there. So when that gap closes, right, that's when everything gets pushed out very quickly. So anyway, I don't want to go back. 19 minutes in. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Like, share, and subscribe. Come and check out my program, Manifest Without Money, if you are interested to manifest specifically in every area of your life, to set the foundation once and for all, so you don't not scatter brain all over the place at all times. Check out our group on Facebook as well. So thank you for watching. With much gratitude, I'm Luminita. Bye now.